anything that another team can do to make a game close or find ways to come out with wins.
Yeah, Carbon, on the other hand, first-year head coach Taylor Brower, he's trying to get these kids into a system which they've been used to playing in over the past several seasons and reinvent the offense, reinvent the defense, install his own values into this team. And that's no short task. That's a tough job he's found himself in.
It is. It's always tough coming in that first year and kind of building your identity, but also going along with what you've done, what your players have grown up with and what they've done in the past, and trying to find the marriage between the two. But once you see that come together, you can really see a team go on a run.
Speaking of Coach Brower, we'll hear from him in just a moment here on the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show. He did an interview with Jordan just the other day, so we'll be hearing his thoughts on the season so far, as well as a bit of a preview for this game. And that's all coming up here on the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show. You're not going to want to miss this one. Tip-off coming at 7 o'clock right here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play. This is where you need to be. We'll be right back with that interview with Coach Brower.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck. Because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
The choice is yours. Sutherland's Friends of the Family Plus Consumer Credit Card lets you choose from 5% off instantly at the register or special financing on qualifying purchases. That means no forms, no waiting, no rebates. You can choose 5% off instantly with your Sutherland's credit card. Got a big project? Choose special financing. The choice is yours with Sutherland's Friends of the Family Plus Consumer Credit Card. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payment required. See store for details. Only at Sutherland's.
Transform your space with Spectrum Paint, featuring PPG paint, the ideal choice for any home project. Imagine a kaleidoscope of colors at your fingertips, from soothing pastels to vibrant primaries. Whether revamping a room or adding character to your exteriors, Spectrum Paint makes every brush stroke count. Dive into a spectrum where quality meets creativity and paint your world with us. Visit Spectrum Paint to find the perfect shade for your home today. Caring for each and every customer and their needs is the foundation of what Smart Health Pharmacy is all about. So when I need a prescription or advice, I can depend on the pharmacist at Smart Health.
Looking for a new pharmacy? It's never been easier to transfer your prescriptions to Smart Health. Call 687-5050 or go to smart-healthrx.com. Download their app today with convenient drive-through at 221 North Main Street, Huntington.
It's your health. Be smart about it.
You've been accused of doing something illegal. Now it's time for a strong defense in the game of legal matters. Let Oliver Law tackle your case. Robert Oliver believes in innocent until proven guilty. Oliver Law brings you a strong defense for the best possible outcome for your criminal case. And when it's time to go on offense, Robert Oliver has the game plan to tackle your legal troubles. Call 435-637-6060 or go to robertoliverlegal.com to request a free consultation. Robert Oliver, passionate about defending the underdog.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Basketball on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Joining us in the studio, we have Carbon Boys basketball coach Taylor Brower. And, Coach, it's great to get you back in. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I like coming in here and talking to you as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I know as we get to this point in time of the season, it's a unique time because you finally get rolling. I think you've got 8 games now under your belt, but then you got to deal with the Christmas moratorium. And
I hate the Christmas moratorium.
I don't think any coach likes the Christmas moratorium.
I think it's dumb. I think they need to get away with it.
A lot of basketball, though, in a pretty short period of time. Even though you have the moratorium, you got a game coming up tomorrow against Richfield. After that, few days off. But then you guys are going to be at the Steve Hodson Classic in Cedar City. So there's a lot of basketball here over the next 10 days.
Yeah, but we're used to it. I mean, in the summer, we played 40-something games in 10 days. So it's not something that, we're not used to. And the hard part is playing tournaments over Christmas break with no practice is definitely hard. But in order to get better at basketball, you got to play basketball. So that's just what we're doing.
Well, we can start by talking about some of the positives, and I'm going to try to spin this and say that while injuries are never an excuse, they are a reality. I say that all the time here on the show. Because of injuries, you guys have had to roll pretty deep as far as rotation is concerned at the varsity level.
Yeah, so we have a lot of guys out right now, and we're down to Caleb Sorensen got hurt last night, and now we're down to 6, so we're going to have to tap into our sophomores and try and get them to step up. And it's just the nature of the game. It's just the nature of sports and athletics in general. You're going to have years where you're going to have all your team, and you're going to have other years that you're not. And this year we just don't have the kids, and we will get them back at some point. We're hoping around January they get most of the kids back. So we're hopeful, and we'll just keep rolling and keep fighting, and hopefully we start getting on a roll at some point.
I mean, the only positive out of that is you have had some underclassmen that have had to step up, right? I mean, that is a true positive.
Yes, that is a true positive, and we've seen some good things from our sophomores that have stepped up and played. We have seen some good things, so that's all we can ask for. I'm not expecting them to come in and dominate, right? And the issue that with the sophomores, though, is the speed of the game. They're just not used to the speed. And so a lot of times they'll make mistakes, but the mistakes they make are just normal for their age group.
As far as wins and losses are concerned, Coach, I think the one word that I always hear from coaches at every level, be it the high school, be it at college, or even at the professional level, is it's compete. And you guys have been competing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we have been competing, and yeah, we've only won one game, but in all those games that we've played, every time I go back and watch them, we're competing. The small things just don't seem to fall, or we're not hitting baskets, or, make one more 3-pointer and we win, or, it's just the small stuff. But at least we're competing and we're still fighting, and that's the only thing I can ask for.
Yeah. I know it's always, especially when you're in a new system, right? Because you have a very demanding system on both ends of the floor.
Yes.
You expect a lot on both ends. That probably makes it difficult for a group of kids to put 4 quarters together when these kids have been coached by a completely different coach, completely different system. That does take time as well.
Yes, it does. I have high expectations, and I do have high demands, because that's how I played. That's how I grew up, and that's the system I played under. So, and we were successful. So I'm going to demand the same things from my kids. And yeah, it does take time. It does take time for kids to adjust to those demands. Realizing that I can't take a break, that the only time to take a break, if you want to take a break, is on offense. Defense is not the time to take that break, because when you do laps on defense, that's when they score. And that's something I'm working on consistently in practice on.
We'll talk about some of the individuals that have performed at a pretty high level for you. We'll start with Kyler Orth. Maybe not his best game against Delta, but as far as the season is concerned, this is a kid that's averaging for you in the teens. And I know you have a couple of kids averaging double digits, which you get 2 or 3 kids averaging double figures, you're going to be in a lot of games.
And Kyler's worked so hard. He flies around, he grabs rebounds, even though he didn't score any points last night. And I know that he was super frustrated with that. I rewatched the game, and he grabbed rebounds. He had loose balls. He played great defense when we were in our man. When in our half-court trap, he flied around as well. So, he did the untangible things that I need kids to do. Yeah, he didn't score, but if you ask any of my players, anytime they ask me, well, how many points did I score? I always tell them, I don't care, and you shouldn't care either. So I'm not worried about points. I'm more worried about those other things that he needs to work on. And he's doing well. He just had an off game last night, and that happens. It's the nature of sports.
Cannon Mortensen has typically been pretty steady for you guys on the offensive side of the floor as well this year.
Yeah, he struggled at the beginning of the year. I think his confidence level was a little low, but and even last night, he shot a 3, and I think it was tipped or maybe blocked. I don't even know. And he was just like, Coach, I can't get my shot off. And I'm like, okay, well, how does Steph Curry get a shot? And he's like, well, he moves. I said, so you got to move. You can't stand. You got to move around. And I said, if you want to score, go board, go get offensive rebounds, score at the free throw line. There's other ways to score other than shooting threes. And I think that's one thing that he's really buying into, look, I got a board, I got to shoot free throws, and then my 3-pointer will fall. And he ended up hitting 1 or 2 last night, which was huge. So
going back to last season, one player in particular that me and Coach Butler always spent a lot of time talking about, it was Carter Warburton, just because a lot of the bulk of the offense was put on Carter as far as a ball handler, right? Mm-hmm. So what's some of the growth that you have seen from Carter as he transitions from that sophomore to junior year? Because I've always had the idea, Coach, that's where you're going to see the most growth.
Yeah, Carter still battles with the speed of the game. I think that sometimes he plays too fast, and so because of that, he makes mistakes. but I think he's learning that it's okay to slow down and play the game. And so because of that, he is getting better. He is making better shots. He's making better decisions. He is running my offense really well when he's out there running the offense. And so he's only a junior. I've got another year with him, and he'll be fine. I think by the time he's a senior, him and Kyler Orth are probably going to be my guys. Like, if I need points, it's going to go to those two. And with the help with Logan Bennett as well, like, it's just, yeah, I think Carter's really working well and working hard. And defensively, it's been leaps and bounds. I've told him, I said, you want to be better on offense, you got to play better defense. And he's definitely buying into that.
And then you have a senior in Evan Lancaster, and I can't believe Evan's a senior already.
I know, right?
It's kind of wild, but how would you assess the way Evan has played up to this point?
You know, Evan's not shot the ball well up until last night. He has not he's just not shooting well. But last night he shot, and he made some shots, and I'm glad he was able to do that. But one of the things that Evan's really good at is he's very level-headed. He doesn't get frazzled a whole lot. He's the calm in the storm, and which I appreciate. And last night, like I said, he shot the ball well. He played well. Defensively, he's buying in. He's so long and big and strong that it's nice to have him where he is. And Evan's just been consistent. He's been really good at, like, just driving to the hole and trying to get fouls, and he's been rebounding decently well. So it's not, even though he hasn't been shooting well, he's been doing other things that I've needed him to do, which has been nice.
Yeah, when you have a senior that is even kill, right?
Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love it when kids are even kill, that they don't get frazzled. And I've had multiple players over the years have that, and it's been so nice to have them, because it's just, I don't have to worry about them turning the ball over, because they very rarely turn the ball over. So, and when they do, it's usually they dribble into traffic or whatever. But, like, it's been really nice to have Evan for sure.
Again, Coach Taylor Brower joining us right now as we talk about the Carbon Dino boys basketball team. Coach, I do want to talk about Region 12, because 0-2 so far, but I've had this conversation with multiple coaches within the division. I don't know that anyone wins this league with less than 3 losses. I just don't see it happening.
Man, this region is so tough. Like, I'm jealous of, like, Judge Memorial's region. I'm not going to lie. Like,
get some off nights, right?
Oh my gosh. Like, I could win a region title with that region every year. Like, it's so hard, because you have the issue is you have good coaches. Yep. So, you have Kim Blackner down at Canyon View. You've got Rand Janes that has been there at Richfield forever. You've got Devin Shakespeare, and you've got Justice over there at Emory that, I mean, even though he hasn't been in for very long, he's played under the system. He's been under the system for a long time. So it's just, and then you have athletes and you have coaches and players that just play. And I agree. There's not one team that's going to win this region outright. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, they're the region champion. It's going to be like, well, let's go down to point differential, or maybe even RPI ranking at that point, because I just don't see one team winning it all out.
No, I don't either. And I think when you look at what this region has, okay, so we know that Canyon View is going to be really good. We know that Richfield is really good. But I don't know if there's a large enough gap to where you can't expect teams to pop up and steal games here or there, specifically at home.
A perfect example is Delta. Delta, their coach, Topham, he's been coaching for a long time. And I coached against him, and my wife coached against him when we were at South Sevier, and he won those state titles there at Delta for those 2 years. And then he switched over to the boys. And even though they've been terrible in the past, like, I knew at some point that he was going to have a group of boys that would play his style of basketball, and he's got that. Like, they're tough. Delta is a tough team, and I could see them stealing a game from Canyon View or a Manti or even like a Richfield at some point, because they got good players and he's a good coach. And so you've got just teams that could come in and shock people and upset people, and I think we can be one of those teams as well. Like, I'm not counting us out. We have athletes and we have players that can play, and if we can just get healthy and play the way we're supposed to, we could steal games. We really could.
What would a win against Richfield do for this program? I mean, how big would that be?
It would be huge. If we can, one of the things that I talked to the kids at the beginning of the season is, going to other people's places and playing is really hard. It's just the nature of the environment, and really good teams, really great teams play better away than they do at home. I said, but what we have to do is we have to protect our home court. Like, anytime a team comes to our court, we have to win. And we didn't get it done last night, but we're there. Like, we're just something just needs to click, and it just hasn't clicked yet, but we're getting there. And if we could beat Richfield, like, that would be awesome. I think you'd see the morale go up. You'd see our energy go up. It's just, and I think the kids can do it, and they just have to believe that they can.
I've heard coaches say in the past, it's almost like you're dealing with an 8 to 10 point deficit immediately on the road. Do you buy into that logic?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you look at our games on the road, we always come out flat. But then after that, like, our first quarter is usually our worst on the road, and then we usually stay in that 8 to 10 point gap most of the game, and we just can't fight back. And it's just, but it's the other way around too, right? Like last night, we were fighting and we were up, and we just couldn't ever break away. But yeah, 8 to 10 points, I totally buy into that.
You've been around a long time as a coach. You've been around a long time as a teacher. This has got to be a difficult time of the year because kids check out. Teachers check out, right?
Kids checked out last week. Like kids checked out student-wise, like, last week, and they just don't want to do anything, and they are just done. And I'm like, okay, we still have like 2 weeks of the quarter left, and they're like, oh, we'll work on stuff over the break. And I'm like, no, you won't. Why? Because I didn't do that either. So, like, why would I expect you to do it? And athletes in general, like, right now we're like in the grind, like, we've been playing for a month, and practices are long and games are hard, and it's nice to have a break. But yeah, it's a hard time of year because people will check out. And even though we are still playing basketball, like, as students, they've checked out. So it's kind of hard to manage that in regards to mentality and how to keep it going.
So what's the schedule look like for Carbon between now and we'll say New Year's Day? What's it look like for you?
So
guys?
we've got Richfield tomorrow. We're on moratorium the 21st through Christmas Day, and then we go to the Hodson, the 26th, 27th, and 28th. We play one game a day down there. We come back on the Sunday. Monday we'll have a early morning practice, and then we'll have practice. So that's what, the 30th?
Yeah.
And then we'll have on the 31st, we'll have an afternoon practice, like from 4 to 6 or whatever. And then we have moratorium on the 1st. And then we have the next day is the 2nd, and we'll come back and we're going to practice like 6 to 8 that night. And then we play Manti. So we literally will have 3 practices between now and Manti.
Well, I guess for a team that has endured some injuries, maybe you can heal up a little bit.
That's
right?
what I'm hoping. I'm hoping these kids, my biggest worry is I don't have other players go and do something dumb and get injured. That's my biggest worry. But my other worry is I'm really hoping that the kids that are injured will just relax and just rest and not try to overexert their injuries so that they can come back earlier than hopefully expected. Going in and out of school is still hard on injuries. Like, yeah. If they can just stay at home and relax and, be lazy, that would be great.
Well, Coach, I always do appreciate you taking out the time to come in. I know we got the whole second half of the season right ahead of us. And if I don't see you before December 25th, have a very Merry Christmas, and I always look forward to the conversations.
Thanks, Jordan. You have a Merry Christmas, too.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck. Because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
At San Rafael Health, they believe everyone deserves compassionate and dedicated care. Whether you're looking for a place for mom, dad, or any loved one, the doors are open. San Rafael Health accepts private pay, Medicaid, Medicare, and commercial insurance, ensuring quality health care is accessible for all. Let the family at San Rafael Health take care of your family. Call today at 384-2301 and let San Rafael Health provide the care your loved ones deserve.
Step into the holiday season with style and ease, thanks to Magnuson Lumber. Whether you're doing home improvements, tackling that plumbing update, or giving your walls a fresh coat of paint, Magnuson Lumber in Castle Dale has the tools and supplies you need to make your space sparkle just in time for the holidays. Visit Magnuson Lumber for quality materials, expert advice, and the friendly service you trust to bring your holiday home dreams to life. Make your home the highlight of the holiday with help from Magnuson Lumber.
It's time you started working close to home. GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance is looking for experienced miners, mechanics, electricians, and surveyors to fill local jobs. Stop traveling every week and let GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance find you a job closer to home and your family. No more leaving your family every week traveling to a work site. There are good paying jobs right here close to home, and GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance can help you get started today. Email your resume to kbarker@gmsminerepair.com. Your new job close to home is waiting for you.
It's fun! It's our favorite place.
Strike up family fun for everyone. Gateway Lanes. Families that play together stay together. And Gateway Lanes is your center for fun, cold beer, snacks, and great food. So let Gateway Lanes do the cooking with open and league bowling year-round and Club Bowl Thursday night, 9 till 11:30, with unlimited bowling including shoes. Since 1989, Helper's Hometown Bowling Center, Gateway Lanes, South Main Street in Historic Helper, and bowlhelper.com. Let's roll.
Carbon High School basketball on KRPX 95.3 The Peak.
Welcome back to the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show right here on 95.3 The Peak. Aiden Mortensen joined in the Sutherland's broadcast booth by Dallin Richards. Now, Dallin, we heard from Coach Brower a second ago. He talked about a variety of things, but the big one that stood out most to me is the injury bug that has really come and bit Carbon. That's something that has really impacted him early on in this season.
Yeah, and you've got a few players out here tonight with those injuries, and he talked about the break coming up with Christmas and New Year's and the moratoriums that they have. Not a lot of time to practice, but that also allows time to heal, which is something the Dinos need. But first, they have a big game here tonight against Richfield.
Yeah, missing 3 players who, over the course of the season, have all filled in starting slots. Ridge Butler, Logan Bennett, Caleb Sorensen, all out tonight for Carbon as they try and fill another starting 5. They've had problems of not being able to keep that consistent, mainly due to those injuries. I also like what he said, though, about trying to keep those kids mentally engaged, especially, like you said, with the moratorium coming up, with the end of the second semester coming up. It's hard to keep these kids focused, especially on the game of basketball.
Yeah, there's a lot going on outside of basketball at this point of the season, and it's a great thing, obviously, to have all that stuff going on. But then when it comes time for basketball, just trying to get the kids dialed back in and focus on the game ahead or the practice ahead can be a real hard thing, especially when you're dealing with high school kids.
Let's take a look at the Richfield Wildcats for a second, because they're a team who they don't have just one star player to look at. They have several players who can put the ball in the basket, but there is one player you can see who it starts with, and that's going to be the junior wearing number 22, Jorgen Southwick, averaging nearly 17 points a game to go along with a steal. He's the engine that can get this Wildcat offense going.
Yeah, he's what gets the offense going. But as you said, there's a multitude of players that can keep it going as well. When you're focused on a player like Southwick, it opens it up for others players. You have Griffin Watman averaging 12 points a game as well for the Wildcats. So even if you have an off night from your star, you have other players that can step up.
And then being kind of more of a traditional basketball fan, I think is a good way to put it. I love back to the basket centers. I love players who down there bullying their way into the paint, grabbing rebounds and playing defense. And Richfield has a player to fill that archetype in Hudson Spell, averaging 7.5 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. Now that's versatility if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, just do a bit of everything, and that's what makes Richfield as good as they've been this season. You talk about those 3 players, but everybody has bought into their role on the team, and they execute at that role.
And that's something that Carbon has kind of struggled with early on in this season. You know, they do a good job of shutting down the opposing team's best players. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if Southwick doesn't get his normal 17 points a game. But where they struggle is they allow kind of these Robin-esque players around the paint, surrounding Southwick. They let them get in the rhythm, and they let them take control of the game. You can't just shut down the one threat. You have to focus equally on them all.
Yeah, and you talked about it. It's important to stop the number one threat, and that's where Wildcats offense starts. That's where your defense has to start, but you have to find a way to expand off of that as well and focus on the other 4 players on the court.
Let's take a quick look at the Carbon Dinos. Lately, they've been led by the senior Cannon Mortensen, 12 points per game, 5 rebounds, and nearly 2 steals a game. He's been electric to watch. Struggled early on in the season, trying to find that confidence like Coach Brower mentioned, but now that he's gotten into his stride, he looks like a leader that this team needs. needs.
Yeah, he's starting to play some of his best basketball on the season over the last few games, and it all starts with having that one good game. When you're in a slump, it's just finding a way to get to the basket, see the ball go through the hoop, and then once you see it go through a game, then it goes to 2 games, 3 games, and all of a sudden you're halfway through the season, and you're still getting better every game.
Yeah, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, especially in the game of basketball. And one player we need to keep an eye on tonight is going to be Kyler Orth, the junior, averaging 14 points a game, held scoreless last time out, but now he has a chance to come back in a big way.
Yeah, a big way. Try to find a way to get Orth going early in the game. See if you can't find a set play early in this first quarter to find a way to get him to the basket.
We'll take a quick break here on the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show right here on 95.3 The Peak for the national anthem, but we'll get back with some keys to the game and starting lineups. You're listening to KRPX 95.3 The Peak. This is where you need to be. This is where the Dinos play.
Remodeling as easy as 1, 2, 3. 123 Remodeling. From basements to ceilings, indoor to outdoor. Chris Nunez at 123 Remodeling is local, licensed, and insured. Framing, plumbing, electrical, drywalling, patios, garage doors. 123 Remodeling can build it, install it, and repair it. Chris is always communicating with his clients and is always transparent. Stay away from those out-of-town fly-by-night contractors. Keep it local with the all-new 123 Remodeling. Call 435-630-2215. 630-2215.
At A Perfect Smile, they specialize in transforming your smile with precision and care. From porcelain veneers and dental implants to orthodontics, crowns, and bridges, their expertise covers every aspect of general and cosmetic dentistry. Dr. Jackson and his team are here to address even the most challenging dental concerns, helping you achieve a smile you'll love. Ready for a smile makeover? Call A Perfect Smile today, 637-2100, to schedule an appointment.
Feel the force of the Ram heavy-duty truck, the power horse beast that thrills with its performance. Hi, this is Thad. Imagine saving up to $15,000 off the original MSRP. Auto Farm has 15 at the ready and waiting for a test drive, including 5 hard-to-find dualies, exceptional strength, unprecedented durability, and might that echoes in every gear shift. Demand the best from your heavy-duty jobs. Demand a Ram heavy-duty from Auto Farm. Because with Ram, it's just not driving. It's just not a lifestyle. Don't just imagine. Come in and test drive away today.
Imagine this. You're cruising down the highway, windows down, music up, but suddenly your car sputters. Don't let car troubles break your stride. At Cars, Complete Auto Repair Service in Wellington, they're dedicated to keeping your vehicle running smoothly so you can keep enjoying those flawless drives. From regular maintenance like oil changes and wheel alignments to tune-ups and even new tires, Cars is here to help. Visit Cars today and drive away confident knowing your car is in its best shape ever.
At Castle Country Vet, they believe every pet deserves a touch of love and expert care. You can trust Dr. Harmer and Dr. Kelly. They're not just veterinarians, but passionate pet lovers, dedicated to nurturing your furry friends like family. From routine checkups to emergency interventions, you and your pet will experience compassionate, professional care every step of the way. Let Castle Country Vet help your pets lead the happiest, healthiest lives. Call Castle Country Vet today, 637-5797, because love is a 4-legged word.
The Dinos play here on 95.3 FM, The Peak.
Welcome back to 95.3 The Peak. Aiden Mortensen here with you alongside Dallin Richards as the Carbon Dinos moments away from taking on the Richfield Wildcats, Game 3 of the region slate. Now we'll go over starters really quickly, starting with the home team, the Richfield Wildcats. Starting the man in the floor general position, it's going to be number 1, Gage Yardley, the senior. Next to him in that backcourt, the shooting guard, the senior standing at 5'11", wearing number 3, Griffin Wayman. Then man in the forward, the senior standing at 6'2", wearing number 21, Malik Fountain. And then you have Jorgen Southwick, another guard for this lineup, the junior, averaging 16.7 points per game for the Wildcats. And rounding out that starting 5, you have Hudson Spell, the senior, standing at 5'11", playing power forward, wearing number 30. So really veteran-heavy lineup for the Wildcats.
A veteran-heavy lineup really bodes well, especially when you're playing at home. You have the home court advantage, and you have a lot of senior leadership who's been there and done that in region play.
And then looking at your Carbon High School Dinos, averaging 2 points a game, the senior center wearing number 3, Maxwell Carlson. Then in the backcourt, the guard, the senior, he wears number 4, averaging 5.5 points a game, Evan Lancaster. And wearing number 10, the junior spark plug who gets things rolling for Carbon, averaging 7 a game, Carter Warburton. And then the junior, the man who's really been an offensive consistent force for the Dinos, wearing number 14, averaging 14, Kyler Orth. And then the man down low for the Dinos, grabbing the boards, getting the blocks, doing what needs to be done. The senior wearing number 33, Cannon Mortensen. Now we're moments away here. Carbon's broken the huddle. It's going to be Mortensen jumping for, that is going to be Carlson jumping for the Dinos. Richfield yet to break their huddle. Any last second thoughts, Dallin?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Carbon here tonight is how they start the game. You heard it in the pregame show with head coach Taylor Brower, but when you're playing on the road, it's almost like you start down 8 or 10 points. So the start to a game is even that more important for a team on the road looking for a big win.
Especially as you look down in front of us, the sea of red, white, and blue from the Wildcats student section. Jumping for Richfield. Southwick, the ball is up and won by Richfield. They get it immediately to Wayman. Swings to the right wing to Yardley. Yardley sets something up, hands it off to Fountain. Gets it to Yardley, swinging it around. Southwick drives in, kicks back out to Wayman. Good ball movement from the Wildcats so far. Left wing now, Wayman. Swings back around, near turnover, reached out and grabbed by the long arms of Arley, passes it into high post to Fountain, takes it strong to the hoop, up and in for 2.
And it was a good ball movement that broke the zone defense of the Dinos there, leading to the Wildcats layup. Richfield not afraid to use the whole shot clock.
They are not, and that's what plays to their advantage. Carbon, a much faster-paced team as they get the ball to Lancaster on the left wing, driving inside. Great defense by the Wildcats. They get it to Orth. Shot fake, drives inside. Pass along the baseline, off the shin of a Wildcat, bounces out. Dino ball. Lining up on the A in Wildcats, it's going to be Mortensen. Hawk set. Baseline out of bounds play for the Dinos, looking for something. Lobs it over the top to Warburton, who catches it in between the circles. Swings it over the left corner to Mortensen, back up top to Warburton now. Goes isolation, drives in screen, set by Mortensen into the corner, picks up his dribble, swings it over to Carlson with 3 on the shot clock, banks in the 3.
Yeah, and it was a good shot there. Late in the shot clock, not being afraid to take it up, hitting it off the glass.
Looks like they're going to give him credit for a 2 on that one, as Richfield answers back in a big way. Answering from deep. Gage Yardley hits the 3. Answers back almost immediately as Warburton pushes it up court. Left wing to Mortensen. Gets it to Orth. Shot fake, driving down the lane. Ooh, beautiful bounce pass to Carlson, up and in.
And Orth saw that all the way. Carlson alone under the basket. Beautiful pocket pass in stride.
Carlson, 4 points this game, averaging 2 on the season. He's found his stride, it looks like. As Richfield takes the ball, another deep three-pointer, this time from Wayman. He connects. The three-point barrage from Richfield continues. 8-4 ball game, 6 minutes left to go in quarter number 1. Mortensen gets the ball right wing, kicks it up top to Lancaster. He's going to drive off the dribble, kicks it to Mortensen, right corner, cross court. Lancaster, good ball movement, gets it to Warburton, drives along the baseline, tries to kick it back out, near turnover. They're going to say it last touch, Richfield Carbon ball.
And you're seeing Richfield, they're playing aggressively in the passing lanes, not allowing any easy passes for the Dinos early on. Going to need to see some more cross-court passes to open that up for the Dinos.
Warburton on the left wing, looking for something. Goes isolation, dribble drive, picks it up, kicks it to Orth in between the circles, drives with the left, swinging it around to the corner. Lots of motion, but no lane opening, and a shot clock violation against the Dinos. You can't have possessions like that against the Wildcats, especially when they've shown they can score very quickly offensively.
Yeah, and it was just not noticing how late in the shot clock the Dinos were trying to work the ball around the perimeter, just ran out of time there.
And he's Richfield with the ball after the shot clock violation. Southwick on the left wing, cross courts it to Wayman. Dribble drive off the screen, kicks it over to Yardley. Driving in another open corner 3. This one from Fountain off the side iron. Rebound Orth for the Dinos. Carbon pushes the other way. They get it to Warburton, to Lancaster, to Mortensen for 3. Off the front of the rim. Rebound Richfield. They're going to push it the other way. 3-on-3. Offense gets sets up. Wayman pull up. Tipped ball. Fight for it. And Carbon's able to recover after a fight for it. Warburton going to push it the other way. They get it to Cannon Mortensen, left wing. Back up top to Warburton, to Lancaster now, right wing. Drives along, ignores the screen. Pull up, Jay. Can't connect on that one. Richfield takes it the other way, pushing it. And they leave Southwick open off the front iron. A bucket has been put on the basket as neither team can do it. And a quick turnover from Lancaster, loses his footing. Richfield gets it. And Yardley's going to take it up, get fouled, and he's going to go to the charity stripe for the first free throws of this game. 8-4 ball game, 4:25 left to go.
Yeah, and it's a real up-and-down game, which favors Carbon. Richfield wants to slow the game down more, but when Richfield's hitting shots as they are, it's been dynamite from deep.
That they have been, as a timeout is called on the floor. Richfield came out electric. They take most of the shot clock that first possession, but then they have back-to-back threes to build themselves up to an 8-4 lead. What are you seeing from the Dinos that they can maybe exploit or try and turn around in the rest of this first quarter?
I think you got to just keep doing what you're doing. You're playing in that zone defense. You're going to give up some of those outside shots. That's what that defense is designed to give up. But if the Wildcats are going to be hitting it, you're going to see those Dino defenders crash the three-point line even more, and then it makes it that much more important to grab those rebounds and then try to get out in transition.
Giving up offensive rebounds has been an Achilles heel for the Dinos throughout the course of the season, looking to turn it around out of the timeout come both teams. Richfield leaves the Dinos 8-4, 4:25 left in quarter number one. Stepping to the line for Richfield is going to be Gage Yardley. And he connects on the first. 7 points early on in this game for Yardley.
And just being aggressive early. They got to the foul line. A Dino turnover leads to a fast break.
Yardley connects on the second as they've clawed their way up to a 10-4 lead. Carbon trying to find an answer on the other end. They get it to Cannon Mortensen between the circles. Tries to pass to a cutting Orth. Turnover number 2 for the Dinos. Really struggling right now in that department as Richfield goes strong to the hoop as Southwick cannot connect. And looks like they're going to say he was fouled out of bounds for the Wildcats.
And Southwick trying to get into the paint there, but the Dino defense all over him.
And they go to Foutine, kicks it outside to Southwick. May not have found a shot inside, but he sure hits from outside for three. 13-4 now with 3:55 left to go in quarter number one. Carbon, they get the ball to Lancaster in the left wing. Screen set by Orth. They swing it over to Carlson. Carlson gets to Warburton. Shot fake, faces the double team, picks up his dribble, gets it to Orth in between the circles. Drives to high post, kicks out to Cannon Mortensen, right corner. Shot fake, step back, three. Oh, can't connect, nearly wedges that one in. Rebound Richfield, but they're going to whistle Carbon for a foul first over the back. It wasn't a matter of if he did it, it's a matter of who did it.
Yeah, and the Dinos just trying to be over-aggressive, trying to get into those passing lanes. Picks up the foul there, but just got to find a way if you're Carbon, just slow things down. You want to get up and move in tempo, but do it under control. So far early on, the Dinos just a bit too much out of control.
And that foul will go against Lancaster as Richfield takes over. Wayman swings it into the corner. Ty Mortensen into the game now for Carbon. Great ball moving around the perimeter. They get it to Yardley in the left corner. Cross court pass to Griffin Wayman. Another three. Can't connect on this one. Rebound Carbon. They're going to push the pace. Lancaster with the ball, swings it cross court to Warburton, driving along the baseline, goes up with the left, little too strong as he goes down, but rebound Orth, and he'll be on cleanup duty as he comes away with the putback points. 13-6, 3 minutes left to go. Shot fake on the other end. Wayman, three-pointer, can't connect. Beautiful ball movement, rebound by Fountain. Can't get his shot to fall either. Another offensive rebound for Richfield, and they get the and one to fall courtesy of Hudson Spell.
And it's the offensive reboundings that you've talked about so far, Aiden, that's really helping Richfield. They're not shooting the ball great from the field, taking a lot of outside shots, but it's those second, third opportunities that get them back to the free throw line here.
Wayman checks out of the game for Richfield. Into the game comes Cord White. As stepping to the line now for 3 points the old-fashioned way, Spell, and he connects on it. He's got three. Substitution for Carbon now. Warburton coming out of the game. Into the game for the Dinos comes Griffith. First time he's really seen varsity minutes this season due to those injuries. Lancaster, Mortensen left wing. Up top to Ty. Mortensen down low to Orth. Kicks it over to Lancaster. Back up top. Swinging around the perimeter. Trying to get an open shot. Cannon Mortensen tries to back down his man. Gets to high post. Picks up his dribble. They get it to Griffith. Now to Ty Mortensen. To Lancaster. Trying to dribble out of a double team. He's going in. 10 on the shot clock. To a cutting Orth. He puts up the prayer. Can't connect, but he's hacked on his way up.
And Orth did a good job that time, cutting to the basket. Not a lot of good lanes for the Dinos on that possession, but Orth finds a crease and gets rewarded with the free throws.
Yeah, Richfield is doing such a good job cutting off any potential driving lanes or passing lanes. They're giving the Dinos fits offensively as Orth's first free throw will connect. He's got 3 on the game and makes it a 16-7 ball game with 2:25 left to go in the first quarter. Second shot up, connects on that one as well. 4 for the junior. Richfield pushing it the other way. 16-8 ball game, 2:20 and running. Yardley has the ball, kicks it to the right corner, back up top to Yardley. Right, swinging it around. They're trying to get perimeter ball open, three-pointer. Southwick pulls it. Can't connect. Rebound, Ty Mortensen for the Dinos. They get it to Lancaster, going to push it the other way. Over to Cannon Mortensen on the left wing. Back to Lancaster in between the circles. They get it to Griffith, drives along the baseline, kicks it back outside to Lancaster. Now back to Griffith, right corner. Puts the ball on the ground, tries to drive along the baseline. Nearly loses, able to recover. Gets it to Ty Mortensen, who's going to shoot the 3. Can't connect, fight for it. Oh, and a behind the back recovery attempt from Cannon Mortensen. They can't get it. And on the other end, a beautiful full court pass to Wrights as they connect on the easy layup.
Yeah, and the Dinos being aggressive, trying to get the offensive rebound down on the one end, allowed the easy fast break once the Wildcats got possession.
Griffith nearly turns over the ball, gets it to Ty Mortensen, right wing, driving inside along the middle. Ball poked away. Richfield pushing the other way. 3-on-1. Going up strong, fights through the contact is Gage Yardley as he's going to go to the line for 2.
And Griffith did a good job there on the one-on-one fast break, forcing the Richfield Wildcats to earn it from the free throw line. It wasn't a dirty foul, but he fouled them hard enough to make sure that it wasn't an and one.
Yeah, and that's a smart play. You'd rather make him earn it at the free throw line than get the easy 2. As he misses the first one, proving him right. 18-8 is the score. 1 minute, 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Checking into the game for the Dinos is Carlson. Out of the game comes Cannon Mortensen. And into the game for the Wildcats comes Griffin Wayman checking back in. Looks like something's going on along the sideline. Richfield fans like it. Carbon fans not so happy as Yardley's second will connect. 3 points on the game for Gage Yardley as Lancaster takes over floor general duties. Gets it to Orth on the right wing. Jab step, drives in. Fights through heavy contact. Looks more like a WWE brawl than a basketball game as Orth, again, drives aggressively to the basket, and he's rewarded for it with a trip to the free throw line, but he is limping. Looks like he's walking a little gingerly on his right leg. 19-8 is the score with 1:08 left to go, as he knows that if he doesn't make these free throws, he might not see the court again this game. He wants to stay in.
Yeah, and you see him talking to the officials now. He's like, no, I can shoot these free throws. Knowing if he doesn't shoot them, then he can't come back in the game. So going to tough it out at least for these free throws.
And you got to respect that from a kid as the first one bounces off the back of the rim and back into his own arms. Can't connect. 19-8 is the score. But you always hate to see injuries like this, especially with the Dinos, who are already so injury battled.
Yeah, it's tough. It's one of the toughest parts of the game. Just need to find a way to overcome.
Second connect as they hurry and call the injury time out. Referee calls it Orth. Really, he's walking on his own power, but it doesn't look like he's enjoying doing it.
No, you can see his limp as he's going to get checked out over there on the bench, and the officials calling timeout out of the play so they could get him out of the game, really showing the player safety there from the officials.
Oh, yeah, got to love that emphasis on player safety as Richfield gets the ball in the corner to Wayman, up top to Yardley, swinging it around the perimeter, looking for their shot again. Spell, shot fake, drives along the baseline, has to swing it back up top to Wrights. Back to Spell. Oh, a beautiful Jokic-esque pass, but intercepted by Carter Warburton as he pushes the other way. Backs down his man. Ooh, beautiful spin off the backboard. Can't connect. Fight for the rebound. Carbon's going to come up with it. They get it to Cannon Mortensen for three, and he rattles it home.
And we talked about second chance opportunities for the Wildcats. That time, the Dinos on the receiving end.
Evan Lancaster with the three on that one. Excuse me. And the Dinos will force a turnover on the other end. That's a great sequence of events from the Dinos. 19-11 with 19 seconds left to go in quarter number one. Carbon looking to storm back and make this game a little more interesting heading into the second frame as they get it to Ty Mortensen. Entry pass down low to Lancaster. Swinging it around. They get it to Ty Mortensen. He has to put something up 5 on the shot clock. And he's going to be fouled in the shooting motion. Richfield fans don't like that one.
No, they don't. It looked like from here it was a good call. It looked like there was more arm than ball that was hit. They were going up for the shot there, but I don't think that you can convince the Richfield students of that.
Yeah, no, they're a little home cooking from the home students section as Mortensen connects on his first 36% free throw shooter so far this season for the younger Mortensen. As he takes a few dribbles and will put up his second. And he'll cash home that one, too. 2 of 2 this game for Ty Mortensen from the free throw line. Richfield has to get something up. 1 second on the clock. They lose the ball. And end of quarter. And that'll do it. 19-13 is the score at the end of one here from Richfield High School. We'll take a quick break, but be right back with more Carbon Dino basketball action right here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play. This is where you need to be. We'll be right back.
Clean Cut Roofing and Siding.
Do you sell lightsaber chopsticks?
No.
Bagpipes?
Definitely not.
Screaming goats?
What?
Oh, I thought you said you had something for everyone.
Yes, something for everyone that needs any type of new roof or siding.
Oh, so no cowbells?
No, we're roofing and siding experts, but maybe with more cowbell.
Since 2003, you get peace of mind every time with Clean Cut Roofing and Siding. CleanCutRoofingSiding.com.
Carbon High School basketball on KRPX 95.3 The Peak.
Welcome back to Carbon Dino High School Dino basketball right here on 95.3 The Peak. Aiden Mortensen alongside Dallin Richards as coming into the second quarter. Carbon only down 6. 19-13 is the lead for the Richfield Wildcats.
Yeah, and the Wildcats were the ones who got out to the fast start here, got out to a double-digit lead. The Dinos, though, fighting their way back, doing so by being aggressive on the offensive end, getting to the free throw line, and then playing good defense, not allowing anything easy for the Wildcats.
And that's something Coach Brower's talked about going on the road. It feels like you can be down 8 to 10 points before that opening tip even starts. And that's how this game started as well. But like you said, doesn't do a good job battling back into it to make it a 6-point ball game, 19-13, heading into quarter number 2. As Carbon starts with possession, they'll get it into Warburton. Swings it over to Bossoni. Into the corner to Carlson. Back up top now. Driving along the baseline. Prescott has to pick it back up to Warburton. Faces double team pressure. More of a single leg takedown, but they're going to call it a jump ball.
And it's honestly might be a first that I've ever seen a jump ball happen with one of the players not having a hand on the ball, rather a foot.
Yeah, no, it was a bit of an interesting situation they ended up in. A little crisscross applesauce action as Wayman has the ball for the Wildcats in the left wing. Cross courts it over to Southwick, back to Yardley. Richfield utilizing their beautiful perimeter ball movement yet again, trying to get the open three. Fountain drives in, ripped away by Warburton, though. He's going to push it. An opportunity here. Richfield, Carbon can't connect. Warburton hunts down the rebound. Can't connect on that either. Rebound, Richfield. 2 chances, 2 misses for the Dinos.
Yeah, and a couple of good looks, and that's one of those things, wanting to play in transition, but not rushing as they did on those layup attempts.
Southwick drives along the baseline, nearly takes the foul, but instead kicks it outside to Rice, who drains it from three-point land.
And just good ball movement. Breaking the zone defense did Richfield by driving into the paint and then kicking it back out for the open three.
That was a great read by Southwick, kicking it outside as a turnover from the Dinos. Errant Pasco soaring from Carter Branch, missing the hands of Carter Warburton for a Dino turnover. as Lancaster checks into the game for Branch. 22-13 with 6:43 left to go in quarter number 2. Richfield gets the ball inside quickly. Yardley immediately passes it out to Wrights. He's feeling himself now. Another 3.
And the Wildcats taking a lot of threes early on, but paying off as they're starting to knock him down.
Wrights with 8 points as Lancaster drives in. Foul whistle. Looks like it's going to be on the ground. But yeah, Wrights has just really opened it up from three-point land. 8 points, 2 of those coming from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and it's the Wildcats seeing the open looks and not being hesitant when they come and being willing to shoot.
Cannon Mortensen inbounds it to Warburton. Quick pass to Lancaster. Drains it from three-point land. 6 points for the senior now. 25-16 ball game. 6 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Richfield looking to answer back with another 3 of their own. They get it to Foudine. Shot fake. Drives. Kicks outside. They move it around. Beautiful ball movement to a wide open Southwick. Corner 3 up and in.
And it's raining threes here in Richfield. Both teams hitting those outside shots early on.
28-16 with 5:47. Lancaster drives in, goes up with the prayer, trying to get a foul, can't get it. Rebound Richfield. They're going to push pace the other way. They get it to Janes. Trying to move the ball around, get it to Yardley on the right wing, swings it over to Fountain. Drives in, puts up the floater, can't connect. Fight for the rebound, though, comes up with his own. And a kick out to Yardley, who's deep. Three-pointer connects.
And that's how 3 possessions in a row that have ended with a Wildcats 3. Real good ball movement, and everybody for the Wildcats getting involved.
31-16 now, 5 minutes left to go. Carbon needs to find an answer. This game's going to run away from them. They get it to Cannon Mortensen in between the circles. Over to Warburton now, right wing. Takes the screen from Mortensen, tries to drive inside. Spin, kicks it out to Lancaster, near turnover, down low to Cannon Mortensen. He puts up the layup, can't connect. And an over-the-back foul. That's going to go against Maxwell Carlson. Just a little too aggressive on the attempted second chance.
And just trying to get those offensive rebounds. Ends up going over the back, but just the first foul against Carbon here in this second quarter. The big thing, though, offensively for the Dinos, trying to find out who's going to step up after Kyler Orth went out in the first quarter. Haven't seen him been able to come back yet.
Yeah, he's on the end of the bench. He's got ice on that knee right now. Hopefully it's nothing too major, just a little stinger as Richfield takes the ball the other way. Spinning around. Trying to get something. They kick it out to Griffith. Trying to spin move down low for Spell. Kicks it outside again, trying to hunt that three-pointer. They get it to Spell down low, blocked by Cannon Mortensen. Spell gets his own rebound, though, loses it, able to recover. As Richfield gets it to Yardley in the right corner, down low to Spell again. He's going up for a second chance, and they're going to whistle a foul on the ground. 31-16. Spell really trying to hunt down low. Body is way in for a layup, but Carbon not allowing anything of the sort.
Yeah, and Carbon's doing a good job defensively, but they're not finishing out those possessions. One of the biggest parts of defense. You can play great defense for 35 seconds, but you got to come away with the rebound, and that's where the Dinos have struggled so far.
They get the ball inside to Wayman. Richfield working along the perimeter. Fountain kicks it back out to Wayman, whose three-pointer will connect. Wayman, flamethrower right now as he is up to 12 on the game. They get the ball to Lancaster on the right wing for the Dinos. Trying to get something, drives in, step back three. Can't connect an air ball as Richfield goes 2-on-1. And an easy layup there for Spell as he gets his 5th point of the ball game. 36-16. Richfield, this quarter started 19-13. Carbon only been able to score a 3 at the start. Ever since then, all Richfield has a timeout taken on the court.
And it's a 17-3 spurt over the first 4 minutes and change here in this second quarter from Richfield. And this is where it can get away from Carbon. We saw him come back in the first quarter. Now need to find a way again to do it here late in the second quarter.
Yeah, this game just really ran out of control. And that's courtesy of the three-point barrage that Richfield is throwing at him. Griffin Wayman up to 12 points on the game. But an absolute sniper from deep for the Wildcats.
Yeah, already 4 threes for Wayman and not being hesitant when he gets those open looks, and it's really opened up the rest of this Wildcats game as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you got to hope that Carbon right now in that timeout is trying to come up with a way to cover that perimeter well, because Richfield's offense, they do such a good job moving it around the perimeter, trying to find that open man, and they don't settle for shots. They find the next open man. They're taking things that are hardly contested at all.
Yeah, and Richfield does a good job breaking that zone defense that Carbon's been in because they don't rely on dribble penetration. They move the ball around the perimeter and find the soft spots in the zone, and that leads to the open shots.
That it does, as they've built up the 20-point lead, 36-16 with 3:39 left to go in quarter number 2. As Warburton will take the ball. Tima checking into the game for the Dinos. Warburton in between the circles to Tima in the right corner. And throws it off his man, and easy steal for Richfield. Tries to draw the charge, can't get it. Southwick goes up with the left. He's fouled, and that's going to send him to the line for 2 easy ones.
Yeah, and now you're just seeing the turnovers now starting on the offensive end, and when you think about how you're struggling offensively, the easiest way to get back into that rhythm starts on the defensive end. Try to get some turnovers or even off of a defensive rebound and get back out into transition. But the Wildcats not allowing anything on the fast break for the Dinos.
As the first free throw from Southwick connects, he's up to 7. The junior making it happen for the Wildcats. He'll take a second, rattles around before dropping home as well. 8 points for him. Warburton in between the circles now. Kicks it to Ty Mortensen. Near turnover. Tima able to recover for the Dinos. Drives inside. Picks up his dribble. Back up top to Ty Mortensen. Now to Warburton resetting the possession. 20 on the shot clock. They get it to Cannon Mortensen in the corner. Now back up top to Ty. Now to Lancaster right corner. Lots of movement, but no lane opening up as he drives inside. Tries to cross court to Warburton. Stolen away by the Wildcats. Going to go 3-on-3 the other way. Goes up strong. Fountain can't connect. Rebound Carbon, 38-16. Cannon Mortensen with the ball. Now to Ty. To Tima. Trying to find something to Warburton. Now back up top to Lancaster, left wing. Now to Mortensen, left corner. Back up top to Lancaster. And a foul's going to be called. And it's going to go against the Wildcats based on reaction there immediately. I think that one's going against Griffin Wayman.
Yeah, it just got caught holding there as the Dinos were trying to move off the ball. Just getting too much of the jersey made it an easy call for the officials in what's been a really clean game on both sides.
It has. But neither team really struggling with fouls as Carbon inbounds on the eye of Wildcats. And it's stolen off the blob play. They get it to Wayman now. They're going to reset the possession. Trying to go to the hoop. Lost the dribble as they get it to Yardley now. Driving along the right side. Bounce pass to Fountain. Swinging the ball around the perimeter again. Not settling for anything. Yardley pulls up. Connects on a 3. Yardley's got 6 on the game. The three-point barrage continues.
Not settling for anything, but is it considered settling if you're making anything to shoot?
I don't think we can call that settling. I agree with you. As they get the ball to Lancaster, now to Warburton, right corner. Back to Lancaster up top to Cannon Mortensen. Now to Warburton. Resetting possession, calling a play. 15 on the shot clock. Ty Mortensen comes up to set the screen on the left side. Warburton will take it. Swinging it around, trying to find something. 5 on the shot clock. Do they get it to Cannon? Mortensen drives inside, bodies his way, blocked with some authority by Gage Yardley as the Wildcats come up with another defensive stop. 41-16 as Richfield pushes the ball. Now with it is Fountain to Spell. Now to Southwick. Thinks about the 3, passes it off to Yardley, right corner. And the Dinos come up with a steal of their own. Now Lancaster going to push it the other way. 4-on-4. Now everyone's on the same side of the court. 5-on-5. Lancaster with the ball right wing. Gets it to Warburton, right corner. Spin. Drives inside along the baseline. Kicks it back out to Ty Mortensen. Drives along the baseline as well. Bounce pass to Cannon. Intercepted, but he steals it right back off an errant pass from the Wildcats. And his shot will go up and in, ending the drought for Carbon. Ty Mortensen has 4. 41-18 with 50 seconds left in the first half of action.
And that was a much-needed basket there for the Dinos. Just seeing one go in the hoop.
As Fountain pulls up from 3 off the front iron. Nearly looked like it was good, just inches short as the rebound goes to Lancaster. He's going to push the pace. Keeps the ball for himself, fakes the handoff, passes it now down into the paint to Cannon Morrison. Gets a man off his feet, back outside the Lancaster. Deep range, down the barrel, connects. Lancaster, 3 threes.
Yeah, Lancaster did a good job there. Initiated the offense and then stayed moving after he let go of the ball down on the block. Got back open for the three.
41-21, 10 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Richfield with the ball. They get it to Southwick in the corner. They're trying to find the most open shot possible. They get it to Wayman, drives inside. Now to Spell, puts up the floater at the buzzer. And he's not going to connect. 41-21 is the score heading into the halftime break. Your Carbon Dinos down to the Wildcats in game number 3 of region play. We'll take a quick break here on 95.3 The Peak and then be right back with Dr. Cowley and Eastern Utah Orthodontics, the halftime show. Stay tuned.
Discover peace of mind with Dawn's Hometown Insurance, now even closer to home at their new location, 58 West Main Street in Price. Connect directly with friendly agents ready to tailor a package just for you. Imagine bundling your home, auto, and life insurance, simplifying your life while maximizing savings. Experience personalized service designed to protect what matters most to you. Visit Dawn's Hometown Insurance today and feel the difference.
Need a getaway? Well, there's no better way to get away than in your own RV. And there's no better way to finance your new RV than with Desert View Federal Credit Union. Desert View makes it so easy. You can conveniently fill out your loan application right from their app. Download it today and then get shopping. With low interest rates and the new convenient app, that new RV can be more than just a dream. Desert View Federal Credit Union can help make it happen.
Membership and eligibility apply. Loans on approved credit. Member NCUA.
You can have a healthy, beautiful smile at any age. Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Cowley, owner of Castle Valley Orthodontics. Treatment is a viable option for almost any adult. And like kids, adults can experience the self-assurance that comes with a confident smile, along with the benefits of improved oral health. Come in for a free consultation and see how Castle Valley Orthodontics can get you on your way to a beautiful smile. Affordable payment plans are available. Call 637-2222 for a free consultation today.
Imagine a smooth, hassle-free journey to the front door of your new home with the Driggs Mortgage Team guiding you every step of the way. Hi, this is Greg Driggs. Our seasoned experts understand the ins and outs of home financing and refinancing. Come visit us at our new permanent address, 8 East Main in Price, where we plan to be a staple for years to come. Start your journey today. Call 801-427-3577. The Driggs Mortgage Team, NMLS number 272076, Equal Housing Opportunity. Driggs Mortgage Team is a DBA of Premier Mortgage Resources, LLC, NMLS 1169.
My son and daughter both play sports, a lot of sports. And with that can come injuries, bruises, sprains, and unfortunately breaks. That's why we use Eastern Utah Imaging. They're a convenient and local option for imaging and an important part of a student-athlete's team.
Eastern Utah Imaging for high-quality, affordable MRI and X-ray services. Many quick scans take 30 minutes or less. You can call for an appointment or ask your doctor to refer you to Eastern Utah Imaging. North Fairgrounds Road in Price. Call 636-X-ray. That's 636-9729.
Hey there, food lovers. It's Bill Hicks from Farleno's Cafe, your new favorite spot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whether you're craving a hearty omelet, a fresh salad, our golden curly fries, or our mouth-watering pastas, we've got you covered. And we're open 7 days a week. So come on down to Farleno's Cafe, where every meal is a celebration. Remember, it's where the locals eat. Visit us at Farleno's, where great food and great company come together. See you soon.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Basketball on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Welcome to the Eastern Utah Orthodontics halftime show right here on 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play. Aiden Mortensen joined by Dallin Richards. As going into halftime, the Dinos find themselves down on the road 41-21 to the Richfield Wildcats. Now, Dallin, looking at the scorers in this quarter, it was really obvious that it was all Griffin Wayman. 4 threes for him in the first half.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Wayman. He got those 4 threes, but everybody for the Wildcats contributing here in the first half. That second quarter was a barrage of threes where it was either free throws for the Wildcats or they were knocking down a three, and it was just too hard for Carbon to hold on and keep it close in that second quarter. But when you're going against that kind of a shooting quarter, you can go into the halftime and say, look, guys, we're down by 20, but odds are the Wildcats won't shoot that same way in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, you got to hope at least. I mean, what Richfield's doing, Carbon runs more of a 3-2 trap defense. They're trying to get people into the corner, and they're trying to get them to turn over the ball due to pressure. But it's hard to trap someone when they're making moves before they even catch the ball. They're about 2 steps ahead of where the Dinos need to be on defense, and that's really where I'm seeing some of the biggest problems come from.
Yeah, and that's what allows Richfield to be so good against this defense is they don't rely on dribble penetration or dribbling to get other players open. All 5 players on the court for the Wildcats at a time have been able to pass the ball and go across the court without dribbling, and that makes it that much harder to get a trap going.
And looking at scoring by quarter right now in the first quarter, Richfield up after 19-13 in the first quarter. It really looked like that was going to be a close game. Carbon found themselves down double digits early, but were able to battle back and make that a 6-point ball game.
Yeah, and that's what you need to see coming from the Dinos in this second half. It's going to be all about how you start the first 4 minutes of the third quarter and what you do defensively to set up the offense, because the Wildcats defense has not allowed anything for the Dinos in the half court. Dinos need to find a way to get out in transition.
And that's been something the Dinos have struggled with all season, Dallin, is they run much better when they're running a fast break-oriented offense. When they can get the break going, that's when they're going to score points. When they're aggressive, forcing turnovers, and they're able to get in kind of a 7 seconds or less look, not having to make time in the half court, not having to go 2 sets. Because when they do, they're kind of predictable. Richfield can read them like a book, get steals, and push a break of their own. So they need to establish more of a fast break offense if they want to have a chance to claw back into this one.
Yeah, find a way to embrace your inner Mike D'Antoni and not let the ball hit the ground, and also get it up when there's still 25 seconds or more on the shot clock. And that's going to lead to easier possessions defensively as well, because that will rush the Wildcats offensively, feeling like, oh, now we've got to keep up with the fast break on the other side.
And then in the second quarter, Dallin, it was almost all Richfield outscoring the Dinos 21-8, leading us to this halftime break up 41-21. Richfield living up to that R that you see all over this gym. Relentless is what they have been.
Yeah, relentless, and it was really that whole second quarter was all Richfield, and then towards the end, Carbon started to get that momentum back offensively, and it all started with Evan Lancaster hitting a couple of threes and really setting the tone, especially with Kyler Orth out.
Yeah, 2 big threes there in the second quarter that you can look at. He's got 9 on the game. Evan Lancaster, one of those players Coach Brower talked about early on in the postgame, said his shots weren't necessarily pregame. Yeah, I get confused sometimes. But he was talking about it. His shots necessarily early in the season weren't falling, but now he's really shooting with a lot of confidence behind those. Even if he's missing, he'll pull up from the same spot, and it just looks like he trusts himself more.
Yeah, and that's what you need. Even if your shot's not falling when you're a shooter, as long as you maintain your confidence, those shots will start to fall, and then it'll be a flood of threes or shots made once you see one go in.
And we'll take a quick break here on the Eastern Utah Orthodontics halftime show, but when we come back, we'll have some scores from around the states and the start of second half action right here on KRPX 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play. This is where you need to be. Don't go anywhere.
How well do algorithms answer your questions?
Your specific query will be addressed with a pre-written, standardized reply.
When you need help with life's important decisions like life insurance, home and auto coverage, and even retirement planning, rely on relationships, not robots. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
In the Castle Country, call your local Farm Bureau agent, Jill Jensen, at 637-8400 for a free quote today.
Discover the strength and beauty of Flawless Sheeting's metal siding and roofing solutions. Designed to endure and crafted to conserve energy, the products offered by Flawless Sheeting ensure your home not only looks good, but feels good too. Plus, they come with a 40-year warranty. Enjoy superior durability and enhanced comfort year-round with new roofing from Flawless Sheeting. Ready to upgrade? Call Flawless Sheeting at 636-7300 and elevate the way you live.
It's fun! It's our favorite place.
Strike up family fun for everyone. Gateway Lanes. Families that play together stay together. And Gateway Lanes is your center for fun, cold beer, snacks, and great food. So let Gateway Lanes do the cooking with open and league bowling year-round and Club Bowl Thursday night, 9 till 11:30, with unlimited bowling including shoes. Since 1989, Helper's Hometown Bowling Center, Gateway Lanes, South Main Street in Historic Helper, and bowlhelper.com. Let's roll.
The Dinos play here on 95.3 FM, The Peak.
Welcome back to KRPX 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play as your Carbon High School Dinos are down by 20 coming out of the halftime break, 41-21 to the Richfield Wildcats. Aiden Mortensen joined by Dallin Richards as both teams taking the court for the second half of action. Looking at some quick scores from around the state, though, back in Emory County, Emory up 2 at the half, 27-25 over Manti. And down in Delta, Team Dinos played just a few days ago. They are up 22-17 against North St. Pete at the half. As coming out of the break, they'll get the ball to Warburton, to Cannon Mortensen, now to Ty Mortensen filling in for the injured Orth in the starting lineup the second half. They get to Lancaster, right wing. They're going right to left on your radio dial. Down to Cannon Mortensen along the baseline, gets the spell off his feet, goes up and the and one opportunity for Cannon Mortensen.
And Cannon Mortensen doing a good job staying patient down on the block, knowing the Wildcats were going to jump at the initial ball fake and then goes through the contact for the and one.
And now he has a chance to get 3 points the easy way. Cannon Mortensen has been very good at that ball fake maneuver as he misses the free throw. 41-23 with 7:40 left to go in quarter number 3. Pushing it the other way is the Wildcats. It's going to be Yardley with the ball. They get it to Fountain. Over the corner to Southwick now, right wing. Drives inside. Goes up strong. Fouled on his way up. Lots of collision, and that foul's more than likely going against Ty Mortensen.
And Ty Mortensen tried to go up for the block shot, but just didn't quite stay vertical enough at the last second. Reached his arm down and over the body, leading to the free throws.
Yeah, Southwick going to the line. He's not necessarily had his normal night. He has 8 points at the halftime break, has a chance to make it 9, and he will do just that, cashing it home from the charity stripe. Takes a few dribbles, getting ready for his second. Rattles around, drops in. He's got 10. Pushing the other way for Carbon's Warburton. Right wing to Cannon Mortensen. Hands it off to Ty up top. Now Warburton corner. Takes the contested 3, but he'll connect. Doesn't matter that he has a hand in his face. Warburton drains the 3.
And that's the confidence that the Dinos need to have out on the perimeter from Warburton. There's no hesitation.
Southwick drives inside, can't get it to fall. Ty Mortensen, beautiful flick pass up to Warburton. Goes up strong, but he has it ripped away. Gage Yardley with the Griffin Wayman with the heads-up defensive play. Out of bounds.
How Wayman came flying out of nowhere. Warburton thought he had the easy fast break layup, but a nice strip and the turnover for the Dinos.
And Coach Brower on the sideline telling Warburton, it's okay, we'll get him next time, as Richfield takes possession. And it's going to be Yardley up top. Now to the left wing, he dribbles to Yardley for 3. Oh my goodness, it's raining threes as Wayman. He's got 5 threes for the senior shooting guard. Carbon, 46-26 now, 6:30, 20-point lead remains for the Wildcats. Lancaster kicks to Cannon Mortensen, right wing to a cutting Ty. He goes up strong, and he'll muscle that one in. Ty Mortensen has 6 on the game, and a quick timeout coming from the Wildcats. First time they've had to try and stop or run this game.
Yeah, and this is the start that Carbon needed offensively coming out of the halftime break. Being aggressive, getting to the basket, and it will open everything else up. You've seen them hit that 3 as well, but it all starts with attacking the basket, a couple point baskets in the paint already.
And this is looking like a team who really needed that halftime break to get their legs underneath them, but now they're playing a lot better, especially on the offensive end. 46-28 is the score with 6:18 left to go in quarter number 3. Richfield leading on their home court. And Richfield, one of those tough teams to beat, predicted to finish first in the preseason coaches poll in Region 12. And they're showing why. This is a team that executes very well.
Yeah, they execute the game plan, and they don't rely on just their one player. They have Southwick. He is in double digits with 10 points, but everybody else around him contributing as well and not afraid to shoot.
Yardley with the ball, gets it to Southwick. Pull up Jay from the high post line, can't get it. Muscled away, though, by Fountain on the rebound. Deep three-pointer now for Wayman. Can't connect on that one. Rebound, Carlson. They're going to push it the other way. They get it to Lancaster. Now to Warburton, left wing. Shot fake, drives inside. Spin, puts up the floater, the hook shot. Unable to connect as 4 Wildcats swarm around for the rebound. They're going to push the other way as they get the ball to who else but Wayman. They kick it into the corner, now to Fountain. Back to Yardley up top, now to Southwick. They get it to Yardley now, right wing, down low, along the baseline to Fountain. Looking for something as they drive inside, kick it out to the corner. Spells 3, can't connect. That's the first 3 I've seen him take this game, as a fight for the ball between Fountain and Ty Mortensen goes in the favor of Richfield.
Yeah, and a good job there forcing the jump ball. Gives the Wildcats a second chance opportunity here. Dinos playing good defense here in this third quarter. Just need to find a way to finish off the possession.
Yardley inbounds the ball to Southwick. He'll take the pull-up. Jay can't connect. Fight for the rebound. Richfield's going to come up with it. It's Hudson Spell kicking it around, swinging it to Fountain on the left wing now. It's back to Wayman. They're swinging the ball around the perimeter. Now to Southwick now, right wing. They get it down low to Spell. He's going to go to work in the paint, and he'll put it up. And they're going to say he was fouled, but it was on the ground. Still 46-28 with 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and you're seeing Richfield staying patient offensively, not hitting the shots at the same rate, but working the shot clock now, moving the ball around and getting those good looks and drawing fouls.
Checking into the game now for the Dinos. Out comes Ty Mortensen into the game for Carbon. Comes Carter Branch, the sophomore. Yardley inbounds the ball to Spell. Spell kicks it up top to Fountain. Now they get it to Wayman. He's going to drive in, pull up jumper. Rattles around, can't connect. Fight for the rebound again. Warburton's going to come up with it, loses the dribble. Cannon Mortensen recovers, and they're going to call a foul against the Wildcats on a reach.
Yeah, we talked about the first half, a clean game on both sides. Not a lot of fouls. Now already 4 fouls in the first 3 minutes here of this third quarter. And I think it's just both teams knowing how important these next few minutes are and just being that much more aggressive.
46-28 with 4:45 left in the third quarter. Warburton with the ball for Carbon. They get it to Lancaster, left wing. Going to have to pick up his dribble. Gets it to Carlson. Now to Branch. Beautiful entry pass down low to Carlson. He can't connect on his short jumper. Rebound. Southwick, but it's stolen away out of the air by Lancaster. He puts up the fader. Can't get that Dirk action to fall as he goes for the steal. Instead goes for the body check as he knocks the Wildcat to the ground. Things getting a little chippy now.
Yeah, and just a frustration foul there from Lancaster. Thought he had gotten fouled on his layup attempt. The official saw it differently, and then just out of frustration there, goes with the body check. Though, putting on a good audition for the Utah Hockey Club.
That's exactly what I was about to say as the Wildcats take the ball down the court. Yardley swings it around. They get it to Spell. Shuffles his feet before bouncing it down low to Yardley. Turnover. He's stolen by Warburton for the Dinos. He's going to push the pace. Beautiful entry pass down low to Carlson. Takes the fader, and he'll connect for the 2 from the short corner.
And getting the lid off the basket there. Neither team had scored for a few minutes. Carbon there, though, opening it up.
And immediately after you say that down, Gage Yardley connects from deep three-point range. He's got 9 on the game. Again, the three-point barrage continues. 49-30, 3:40 left to go in the third quarter. Lancaster with the ball on the right wing. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Warburton in between the circles. Shot fake, drives, takes the shot. Bounces off the back iron. Rebound, Richfield. They're going to push the other way. 4-on-4 action right now as Yardley has the ball in his hands on the left corner. Drives along the baseline, swings it to Spell. Now back over to Wright. Drives in, blocked strongly by Cannon Mortensen. Lots of contact, though, as Richfield gets the rebound back. Spell gets it up top, shovels it over to Yardley in the right corner. His three-pointer will go.
And Richfield saw 1 3 go down, make it 2 in a row. And now all of a sudden the lead back to 22.
52-30, 2:50 left to go in the third quarter. Carbon with the ball. Branch has to kick it to Warburton. Up top to Lancaster now. He's going to dribble along the right side. Swings it to Branch. Back to Lancaster, right wing. passes to a cutting Cannon. Mortensen up to it, a wide open. Warburton for three. Air ball. Rebound Richfield. Yardley flicks it up to Wrights. Now to Spell. Now back to Wayman. Wayman will take the three, and he will connect. 18 in the game for Wayman, all coming from deep beyond the arc. 55-30.
Wayman showing his shooting skills off here tonight. Hasn't slowed down the entire night.
Yeah, it's always scary when you're going against a good three-point shooter like that as Branch passes it up top to Cannon Mortensen. They get to Lancaster, left wing. Trying to back down. His man gets into high post spin. Fader hits it. Lancaster 11, his first points of the half coming right there. 55-32 with 1:55 left to go in the third quarter. Yardley with the ball for Richfield. Goes low, swings it over to Wayman. Wayman thinks about the three, decides not to take it. They get the Spell shot fake. He'll drive along the middle, and he'll go up with the floater. And he'll connect 7 for Spell. Timeout called by Carbon.
And a much-needed timeout here is Richfield starting to open the game back up here, and it all starts with those three-point shots. And they hit a couple of them in a row, and then you see on that last possession, it opens up the driving lane for Spell.
Griffin Wayman and Gage Yardley, both lighting it up from three-point land. One with 12, one with 18. It's hard to stop a potent offense like Richfield's when they move the ball so effectively. They don't give you time to interrupt the passing lanes as it's happening. You need to be a little preemptive on that action.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you have the senior leadership and a lot of varsity experience that this Wildcats team has, showing why they were picked as the favorite to win the region here this year. And it's because they've all been playing together for so long and have been in this offense for so long that they're looking 2-3 steps ahead on every possession.
And that's another one of those perks of having a coach who's been coaching for 19 years with the same program like Rand Janes has. As Lancaster gets the ball in, he'll swing it over to the corner now to Bozzoni. New lineup in. We'll get them as they come in. Lancaster swings it up top to Bennett. For Ty Mortensen, he'll get pass to a cutting Carter Branch. He'll go up strong and get rewarded with the easy two.
And the nice Stockton to Malone pick and roll textbook leads to the wide open layup.
And a lot of sophomores seeing the court now due to injuries as Richfield drives along the baseline. Going up strong is Fountain, and he's fouled on his way up. 57-34 with 1:06 left to go in the third quarter. And like you said, Richfield just is relentless. They are not taking their foot off the gas pedal here tonight.
Well, they're being aggressive, and you talked about it, a lot of sophomores now getting experience for the Dinos, and it's because of those injuries, which it can be rough in the moment because you're playing those inexperienced players. But when you think about building a program, as Carbon's doing with Taylor Brower in his first year, that's what you want to have, get those experiences for the years to come.
Yeah, it's not fun in the moment, but it's definitely something that's going to benefit you in the long run. As Bozzoni drives in, kicks it out to Ty Mortensen now. They hand it off to Carter Branch. He shot fakes, goes up strong along the block. Can't get it. Rebound Richfield. Curtis comes down with it as they're going to push up court with the ball as Wrights. Ooh, pickpocket action. Bozzoni has a chance, and he'll make the layup and an opportunity to make it three.
And it was just a great steal at half court. The Wildcats trying to set up a play, and instead it leads to the steal and the easy and one basket.
That's the first points on the varsity level for Jackson Bozzoni as he has a chance to make a three. Rattles around, can't connect. A little announcer curse there. Richfield pushes the other way. They get it to Southwick. Puts up the nice jelly. Can't connect off the front iron. Steals it right back, though, as he is a relentless defender. He wants to score, and he'll get to that basket by any means necessary. Guarded closely by Lancaster. Not allowing him any lane. Screen. He gets an open lane along the middle. He'll put the floater this time. Nearly grazing that rim and dropping it in. 61-36 with 10 seconds left to go. They get it to Lancaster for the Dinos in between the circles. Now to the right wing. Spin move. He's trying to get something. They get it to Branch. Branch, shot fake. Sidestep. Three. Air ball. He's fouled on the shot.
And the number one thing you can't do as a defender in basketball, foul the three-point shooter. That's what Richfield does here. See if Carbon can capitalize with 0.3 seconds left in the quarter.
61-36 with, like you said, 0.3 seconds left in the quarter. At the line is Branch. His first will be good. He's got 3 on the game. Branch looking to make it 4. Can't get the second one to fall.
You'd think you would learn by now not to try to speak something into existence right before a shot.
It worked earlier in the season. Now it's just not. As the third one will roll into a little toilet bowl action as he gets that one to fall. And time will expire. 61-38 is the score after 3 quarters here from Richfield High School. The Dinos down big heading into the final frame of action. We'll take a quick break here on 95.3 The Peak, but we'll be right back with the final frame of action. This is where the Dinos play. This is where you need to be.
JN Auto says it's time to get in the auto buying game. JN Auto is a game changer when you're looking for a new vehicle, but don't want to pay the new vehicle price. By making JN Auto a part of your team, you can count on finding quality, gently used vehicles with manufacturer warranties and unbeatable prices. You just found the secret to finding the perfect vehicle. It's JN Auto. Check out their huge inventory at jnautosales.com. JN Auto in Huntington and Price.
Carbon High School basketball on KRPX 95.3 The Peak.
Welcome back to 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play, as the Carbon Dinos find themselves down in a pretty deep hole, 61-38 going into the final frame of action. Aiden Mortensen joined by Dallin Richards on the call for you today. Dallin, heading into this fourth quarter, what do the Dinos need to do to try and claw back into this one?
Yeah, just go back to what you did there in the third quarter. It was a really good third quarter for the Dinos. Richfield caught fire late to pull the game back up to that 23-point lead, but you've got a lot of young players on the court for Carbon right now due to injuries, and so just got to take that experience and catapult it in and try to get one more good quarter in from the sophomores.
And looking at some scores from around the state after 3 quarters, North Sanpete up 1 over Delta, 36-35. And then South Sevier up 50 over Millard, who has 24, nearly doubling the score there as Carbon gets the ball in. It's Bizzoni now to Lancaster, left wing. He'll take it up top. They're swinging around the perimeter, trying to get the open shot. Lancaster shot fake, drives into the high post, meets heavy opposition, hands the ball off. Shot fake by Branch, can't get it to fall. Beautiful bounce pass, but off the foot of Ty Mortensen. That's going to go in the favor of Richfield.
Yeah, it was a good play there from Branch. A good pass, almost too good of a pass there. It threaded the needle and caught the rest of the Dinos off guard.
Yeah, it nearly had the Wildcats there, but it also had the Dinos off guard as Richfield has the ball. Wrights has it, has to pass it off to Wayman. He's going to drive in, tries and passes it over the top of the Dinos defenders to Yardley, gets knocked out of bounds. It'll stay Richfield possession.
And Dinos playing a lot more aggressively here now on the defensive end, not allowing any of the Richfield perimeter players any space.
As Yardley inbounds the ball, the Fountain can't connect on the easy layup. Lots of contested shots from the Dinos. As down the other way, it's going to be Case Griffith hitting the pull-up J, 61-40 now. He's got 4 on the game. As Yardley again tries to lob it out top, they'll get it outside to Wayman, and big surprise, he hits the 3.
And Wayman, 7 made threes now on the game for the Wildcats. For Wayman alone, just anyone and everyone from anywhere hitting those outside shots.
Ty Mortensen drives along the baseline, faces a lot of contact. We'll see what the official calls.
I think he's calling a flop.
Yeah, that's one of those rules that they've kind of put an emphasis on here in recent years. You can thank James Harden for the flopping revolution right there, coming back to bite him as Coach Janes on the court. He doesn't look happy with that call one bit. But Carbon will take possession of the ball at the C on the Richfield along the baseline. You ever notice how big of a logo Richfield has at midcourt? That thing is huge.
they want to make sure you know where you're at in case you get lost.
True, but I just for me, it's any shot you take is going to be a logo 3 if you take it between the circles as they inbound the ball at a time. Mortensen puts up the hook, rolls, can't get the lucky drop, rebound. Richfield, 64-40 with 6:30 left to go in quarter number 4. Yardley dribbles to the left wing, swings it over to Fountain. Picks up his dribble, kicks it over to the corner. Now to Yardley, drives along the baseline, kicks it. Ooh, and a beautiful block by the Dinos. Pollock can't get the shot to fall. Rebound, Carbon. They get the ball to Bizzoni, drives. Yeah, and he is blocked at the rim. Getting his get back is Pollock on the other end. And they luck into a bit of a layup there with Wayman recovering a tipped pass for his 23rd point of the ball game.
And a bit bizarre to see Wayman come inside the three-point line, but when you're the only one under the basket, I guess it's okay.
As Lancaster tries to spin like a top through the Wildcat defenders, passes along the baseline to Mortensen. Off the knee, though, of Gage Yardley as the Dinos retain possession. Mass substitution now coming for the Dinos. Warburton's back into the game. Cannon Mortensen's back into the game, as well as Maxwell Carlson checking back into the game for the Dinos. Cannon Mortensen going to inbound the ball along the baseline. 66-40 with 5:46 left to go. They get it into Warburton on the left corner. Swings it back up top. Now entry pass down to Carlson. Beautiful feed to Mortensen. He has to go up with it, and he'll do just that. Cannon Mortensen, 4th point of the ball game, coming through fighting through contact.
Yeah, good move down on the block, just going through the contact and being physical through the layup for the bucket.
And Yardley has the ball now. Little isolation action. Picks up his dribble. Tries to pass it to the inbound. Little miscommunication as it's stolen away by the Dinos. They'll get it to Warburton in the right corner. He'll drive along the baseline. Pick up his dribble. Kick it back up top to Griffith. Now back to Warburton in between the circles. Now to Mortensen. Hands it off to Warburton, resetting the possession. Carlson sets the screen. Warburton doesn't take it. Instead, he'll pass the ball off to Bizzoni. And they'll pass it down low to Cannon Mortensen, and they're going to call Richfield for a shove in the back that nearly sent Cannon flying.
Yeah, and Carbon doing a better job here now in the second half and fourth quarter, moving the ball around the perimeter, not relying as much on the iso ball in the half court, getting everybody involved, and it's leading to more open shots.
Cannon Mortensen to inbound the ball for the Dinos. Thinks about lobbing it over the top, won't, and he will get it to Warburton, having to make a little snatch out of the air. Gets it to Bizzoni on the left corner. Back up top to Warburton now in between the circles. Now to Griffith. Hesitation move back to Warburton. They're passing along the baseline. Bizzoni drives in, sees his lane, tries to bounce, pass it out to the right corner to Cannon Mortensen. Stolen away by the Wildcats as they're going to push it up court. Wayman with the ball. Handoff. Stolen by the Dinos. Bizzoni pushing it the other way. Euro. Floater. Oh, can't get it. Warburton with the rebound. Tipped away. Rebound Cannon Mortensen, and he'll get the third chance to fall. Third time's the charm for the Dinos. 66-44 with 4:20 left in the fourth quarter.
And just being relentless on the offensive glass there, the fast break, getting 2-3 looks at the basket bodes well for any offense.
Gabe Yardley, the Wayman in the right corner, a place where he's been oh so lethal. They get it to Hudson Spell, fakes the three, kicks it out to the corner now. Richfield unable to connect. Rebound, Dinos. They get it to Warburton, pushes it to it. They're going to push the pace here. Griffith gets it to Cannon Mortensen. He puts up the floater. He's found his 8th point, 6 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just doing a good job running the court there. And Mortensen getting into the paint, getting all of those easy buckets.
As Spell shows off a little fancy pants move, fakes the bounce pass, brings it back up, floats it in for the layup, and that's going to force a timeout from the Dinos. 68-46 as Spell picks up his 9th point of the game.
Yeah, and every time Carbon starts to go on a run and it feels like they might get this game back in, they get it down to a 16, 15-point deficit. All of a sudden, you look back up at the scoreboard and Richfield's extended that back out past 20.
We'll take a quick break here on 95.3 at the Peak, but we'll be right back to you with Carbon Dino basketball action. You're listening to 95.3 the Peak. This is where the Dinos play. This is where you need to be.
You've been accused of doing something illegal. Now it's time for a strong defense in the game of legal matters. Let Oliver Law tackle your case. Robert Oliver believes in innocent until proven guilty. Oliver Law brings you a strong defense for the best possible outcome for your criminal case. And when it's time to go on offense, Robert Oliver has the game plan to tackle your legal troubles. Call 435-637-6060 or go to Robert.
Carbon Dino basketball continues on 95.3 The Peak.
Welcome back to 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play as your Carbon High School Dinos down on the road to the Richfield Wildcats, 68-46 with 3:37 left to go in the fourth quarter. Aiden Mortensen joined by Dallin Richards. Dallin, I think the Dinos have looked a lot more consistent offensively this quarter. I think that's a good word for it.
They have, and it's been the ball movement that's led to the consistency here in this fourth quarter, and even really this whole second half doing a much better job of not being stagnant and not going through those scoring droughts that you saw in the first half.
They get the ball to Bazzoni, gets into the high post, kicks it outside to Griffith. He'll try and drive inside, but they're going to whistle a foul against the Wildcats. Their second of the quarter. It's been a really clean game between these two teams.
Yeah, minus the third quarter.
Third quarter did get a little chippy there for a second, but it's really calmed down as Mortensen lobs it over the top of everyone to Bazzoni on the right wing. They get it back to Mortensen, right corner. He'll take the pull-up three, rattles around, can't get it to fall. Rebound spell for the Wildcats. They're going to push the other way. They get it to Southwick, and he gets hooked up with Carlson. And that's going to go against the Dinos, their first foul of the fourth quarter. 3:15 left to go, 68-46.
And right on cue, you're talking about how clean of a game it's been, and we'll bring in the fouls.
That's how it's happened this game. It normally doesn't. This is an outlier, I swear, as Richfield to inbound the ball. Bazzoni face guard, and they'll get it inside to Wayman. Wayman with 23 points on the game, 7 of those coming from 21 of those points coming from three-point land. As they get it to Southwick, he'll drive inside, pick up the ball, kick it back outside to Wayman. Picks up his dribble, bounce pass to Wright. Ooh, beautiful ball movement. They get it to Spell in the short corner, shot fake. He'll go in for the fancy layup finish. He's got 11 on the game.
And it all started with the pump fake, getting the Dinos up in the air and then going around for the easy lay-in.
70-46 now with 2:40 left to go. Warburton tries to go a little Magic Johnson action, gets tipped out of bounds. Richfield will take possession. Two new faces for the Wildcats checking in. It's going to be Pace Mullen and Jess Curtis. First time seeing the court this game as Spell inbounds the ball to Curtis. Picked up full court. Spell's going to take over for general duties, normally playing power forward, giving the big man an opportunity to shine here. They hand the ball off to Fountain. He drives inside, can't connect. Rebound, Cannon Mortensen. They're going to push the pace now. Lancaster with the ball. Back to Ty Mortensen. He'll take the pull-up three. Off the front iron, off the back iron, then to the side, and it drops down low. It's like a little John song in here. 70-46 with 2:10 left to go. As Richfield sends the ball soaring out of bounds. Turnover on them. Dino take possession.
Yeah, and now you're seeing a lot of young players on both sides of the court. You see it there, the turnover with the Wildcats, just not a lot of consistent minutes with these lineups out there can make it hard, but that's also what you need late in these kind of ball games.
Yeah, and you're trying to adjust, too, to several injuries on the court for the Dinos as they get the ball to Lancaster, left wing, tries to get it to a cutting Griffith. He's able to recover it, though. They get it to Ty Mortensen, drives along the baseline. He'll float it in, and an opportunity for an extra one at the free throw line.
And just a great job there. The Dinos moving the ball around the perimeter, and then the nice drive baseline, again, going through the contact. That's been a consistent point here for the Dinos in the second half, not being afraid of the contact from the Richfield defense.
A perfect 3 for 3 on the day now for Ty Mortensen. He's up to 9 in the ball game. Richfield pushes it the other way, 70-49 with 1:50 left to go. They get the ball to Wrights. He kicks it back up top, moving the ball around the perimeter to Curtis. Drives inside, picks up his dribble, swings out to Wrights. Will take the three. Off the side, iron rebound Spell for the Wildcats, though. Grabs it back for the offense. 30 on the shot clock. They get to Curtis, shot fake, drive in, pull up short corner. Off the front iron again. Rebound again for the offensive rebound for the Wildcats. This time it's Wrights. And a timeout called for the Dinos as a hockey line change substitution in the works for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and getting a lot of new faces in on both sides coming in with this timeout, and something that you want to see in this final minute 24 for Carbon, just continuing to stay with the same fight that you've had in the second half and gain even a little momentum going into the rest of your season.
Timeout on the court. We'll take it here with them, but don't turn that dial. You're listening to where the Dinos play and where you need to be. 95.3 The Peak.
Brace
Brace yourself for the holiday season, where kids are prone to exceed their daily sugar intake by a whopping 544%. Nip those dental issues in the bud with Price Pediatric Dental. Our experts, Dr. Bott, Dr. Lund, and Dr. Markham, excel in pediatric dentistry. They can identify potential problems promptly. At Price Pediatric Dental, they adore children. And with a continuous practice, they've mastered delivering dental care that's gentle yet effective. Call 637-9590 and schedule your child's appointment today at Price Pediatric Dental.
Carbon Dino basketball continues on 95.3 The Peak.
Welcome back to 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play as your Carbon Dinos down 72-49 with 1:20 left to go in the fourth quarter. Aiden Mortensen joined by Dallin Richards as the Dinos push the pace to get it to Carlson. He'll put up a prayer off a little shove from the Wildcats. It won't be good as Richfield gets the rebound. They'll push it the other way. Trey Yardley now with the ball, checking into the game for the first time. Josh Whatcott back to the younger Yardley. Now to Jess Curtis. Nearly stolen away by Tima. Curtis able to recover. He'll drive in, swing it out, little barrel pass to Pace Mullen. He'll connect from three. Even when you put the bench players in, Richfield still connecting from deep.
And it's just been one of those nights for the Wildcats. Everybody getting involved from the three-point line.
As they try and get the entry pass down low to Carlson, he'll get the ball poked out over his head, but a foul whistled against the Wildcats. 75-49 with 46 seconds left to go in the fourth and final quarter. Griffith inbounds, lobs it over the top to Carlson. He'll pick it up, put up the jumper, get the lucky bounce, as Carlson has 8.
And that was good patience from Carlson. Goes up with the lob on the out-of-bounds play. Instead of rushing a contested shot, goes with the pump fake and slows himself down, going back up with it again.
And Jess Kirsch now with the ball on the left wing for the Wildcats, facing double-team pressure. Swinging it around, trying to get it. They get it to the younger Yardley. Trey, he'll take the three. Can't connect. Rebound Carlson for the Dinos. He gets it to Tima, who's going to push the pace. Full court flick pass now as Griffith puts up the fader, and he's able to connect. 6 points for Griffith here today. The sophomore having some impact in his first major varsity minutes.
Yeah, and doing a good job there and staying patient, getting another bucket to go. A lot of good momentum, though, from the second half offensively for the Dinos.
And Richfield holds the ball, runs out the final 4 seconds on the clock, and they walk away with the 75-53 win over the Carbon Dinos. Now, at points it was a bit of a rough game. I think it's fair to say that, but there were times where the Dinos really showed some spurts of what they can be if they're able to just stay healthy.
Yeah, and that's what we've talked about even before the game. We talked about the Dinos showing that in spurts, just still trying to find a way to get all 4 quarters. And you see it here again. You see a good end of the first quarter and a good third and fourth quarter. But that second quarter was where this game got away. Just need to find a way to get 4 quarters to come together. And I think you'll see that as they get rested and hopefully a little healthier after the break.
Yeah, that's going to be ideal. Kyler Orth didn't leave this game midway through the first quarter due to injury. So another one for the Dinos piles on. The poor get poorer in that regard. But it's like you said, they just need to find a way to put together 4 consistent quarters of basketball. And we'll talk about that during the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union postgame show, which is coming up right here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play. This is where you need to be. We'll be right back.
Imagine the sound of a basketball swishing through the net at the game buzzer. That's the sound of you scoring big with Eastern Utah Community Credit Union's Slam Dunk Savings Accounts. Just like a winning team will strategize their plays, we will help you plan your financial future with competitive interest rates and unbeatable customer support. Whether you're saving for college, a new home, or retirement, make a fast break to Eastern Utah Community Credit Union and let your savings game reach MPP status. Join our team today and start winning with your money.
Membership and eligibility required. NCUA insured. Loans approved on credit.
Need a getaway? Well, there's no better way to get away than in your own RV. And there's no better way to finance your new RV than with Desert View Federal Credit Union. Desert View makes it so easy. You can conveniently fill out your loan application right from their app. Download it today and then get shopping. With low interest rates and the new convenient app, that new RV can be more than just a dream. Desert View Federal Credit Union can help make it happen.
Membership and eligibility apply. Loans on approved credit. Member NCUA.
Clean Cut Roofing and Siding.
Do you sell lightsaber chopsticks?
No.
Bagpipes?
Definitely not.
Screaming goats?
What?
Oh, I thought you said you had something for everyone.
Yes, something for everyone that needs any type of new roof or siding.
Oh, so no cowbells?
No, we're roofing and siding experts, but maybe with more cowbell.
Since 2003, you get peace of mind every time with Clean Cut Roofing and Siding. CleanCutRoofingSiding.com.
JN Auto says it's time to get in the auto buying game. JN Auto is a game changer when you're looking for a new vehicle, but don't want to pay the new vehicle price. By making JN Auto a part of your team, you can count on finding quality, gently used vehicles with manufacturer warranties and unbeatable prices. You just found the secret to finding the perfect vehicle. It's JN Auto. Check out their huge inventory at jnautosales.com. JN Auto in Huntington and Price.
It's fun! It's our favorite place.
Strike up family fun for everyone. Gateway Lanes. Families that play together stay together. And Gateway Lanes is your center for fun, cold beer, snacks, and great food. So let Gateway Lanes do the cooking with open and league bowling year-round and Club Bowl Thursday night, 9 till 11:30, with unlimited bowling including shoes. Since 1989, Helper's Hometown Bowling Center, Gateway Lanes, South Main Street in historic Helper, and bowlhelper.com. Let's roll.
Well, this is way beyond my skills.
Time to call Frank.
Honey, did you mean my dad, Steve?
No, Frank at Central Commission and Helper. Frank and his staff will give me the best advice and supplies I need. He's the father of good advice and better than you at this stuff.
No argument there.
Central Commission and Supply Company is a family-owned and local hardware and lumber store. Plumbing, paint, electrical, with better prices, better service, and better knowledge than the big box stores. Central Commission, North Main Street in Helper.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Basketball on the Peak KRPX 95.3 FM.
Welcome back to 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play. Aiden Mortensen joined by Dallin Richards. As moments ago, the Dinos fell 75-53 to the Richfield Wildcats, falling to 0-3 in region play. Welcome to the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union post-game show. Now, Dallin, you look at all the different stats across this game. I think there's one that automatically stands out to you in the scores book, and that's the amount of threes that Richfield was able to hit.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Wayman, who hit 7 alone, by the way. 7 threes in a high school game for one player is an incredible outing, but then you add it to everybody else getting involved from the three-point line as well into the high teens of three-pointers made for the Wildcats here tonight. Really is what helped them extend that lead and balloon it in the second quarter.
And you look at scoring by individuals for the Wildcats. Griffin Wayman finished with 23 points. 21 of those came from beyond the arc. He had Gage Yardley. He had 12. Jorgen Southwick, Hudson Spell, Slate Wrights, they were all hitting threes. And that's what makes this Richfield team so scary to play against, is it's not a team run by one person. This is a team that plays as a team.
Yeah, they do, and they showed and proved tonight that anybody and everybody can get going, and when you can get that many different players going on the same night, you can be really potent on offense. But then on the other side, you saw Carbon really hang in for a majority of about 2.5 quarters of this game. It was just that quarter and a half in the middle that it really ballooned out of control.
Yeah, you look at scoring by quarter, Dallin. After one, it was 19-13 in favor of the Wildcats. A 6-point deficit for the Downs to try and overcome. The biggest problem, like you said, was that second quarter. Richfield scores 21. Carbon scores 8. That makes it a 41-21 ball game at the half. You're down 20 points. That's a hard deficit to claw back from.
Yeah, it is. And then you see even in the second half, only losing to Richfield in the second half by 2 points. And so they showed that they can hang with anybody in the region. It's just a matter of playing consistently through the entire game.
And that's third quarter. It was a great showing. 20-17, Richfield outscored the Dinos. Only 3 points there, 61-38. And then in the fourth and final quarter, Carbon actually outscored the Wildcats, 15-14. So they won that final frame of action. And that's been a theme throughout the entire season, is that they just have been unable to piece together a full four-quarter game with the exception of their lone win against Grant.
Yeah, and it's what you need to find and try to find ways to keep the momentum from quarter to quarter and not go into those dull moments. You saw it more in the second half, and it all starts with the ball movement and not relying on just one person to score, but everybody touching the ball there for the Dinos led to those open looks.
Now, looking at scoring by individuals for the Dinos, just chime in when you see fit. With Maxwell Carlson, he came to this game averaging 2 points a game. He finished with 8, a great showing for the senior center.
Yeah, and he did a good job, especially Orth going down early in the first quarter. It forced everyone else to step up, and it started there down low and getting in the basket.
Yeah, there's a poor guy in an Indiana sweatshirt down there. They're not doing too well in the college football playoffs. Looking at that score really quickly, it's 17-3 midway through the third quarter, so it's probably best he was watching the Wildcats and not the Hoosiers.
Yeah, and you never know. A lot can happen with Kurt Signetti, as you saw here on the court with the Wildcats, when anybody and everybody was hitting threes and deep threes.
And then looking at the scoring for the Dinos still, Evan Lancaster had 9 points in the first half. He was very key in that second quarter. He's kind of the only person who's able to get that scoring started. He finished the first half with 9, ended the game with 11.
Yeah, and you saw he was the only one going in the second quarter, as you said, for the Dinos, and then the second half he only got those 2 points, but it was because everyone else around him was helping out, and it wasn't solely relying on Lancaster down low.
And then Carter Warburton came to the game averaging 7. Wildcats were able to kind of keep him in check. He finished with 3.
Yeah, and they did a good job of holding him down to those 3 points, and you said just one of those games, especially Orth going down early, it really throws the game plan for a loop for the Dinos completely, and it puts more emphasis on those other leading scorers.
And then the one surprise that really came in, Case Griffith saw his first major minutes as a varsity player, the sophomore. He finished the game with 6, all coming in the second half.
Yeah, and that's what you need from those players like Griffith coming in, getting a lot of varsity minutes because of those other injuries that are going on with the Dinos, and then making the most of those and almost making it so that it's hard to take all of those minutes away as players start to get healthy again.
His fellow sophomore Carter Branch finished with 4, and like you just said, it's important for these players to get the good quality minutes they need while there's all these injuries for the Dinos. It's a good chance to develop some of these younger guys into varsity caliber players, because it's hard. It's an adjustment going from sophomore JV ball to the varsity level. It's a completely different speed down there.
Yeah, and it's always that jump that you never know how fast someone will make it. You'll see some players that it can take a game. It'll take some players a season to get used to the different speeds, and you saw it here even through the difference from the first half to the second half. You saw a lot of those sophomores play a lot better in the second half.
And then finally you have the 2 Mortensons. Cannon Mortensen, the senior, finishes with 8 points, and Ty Mortensen, the junior, finishes with 9.
Yeah, and both of them stepped up late, especially in that second half, playing aggressive through contact down on the block, getting it to the foul line, and just that aggressiveness really helps everybody else because you're getting the other team in foul trouble.
Yeah, and then we've talked a little bit about Richfield. Again, Griffin Wayman, the senior shooting guard, finishes with 23, makes 7 threes. Gage Yardley has 12. Slate Wrights has 10. Malik Fountain has 4. Jorgen Southwick came to this game as the leading scorer for the Wildcats, averaging nearly 17 points a game. He finishes with 10, but that's not because he wasn't scoring. He was doing more facilitating tonight.
Yeah, and that's just the way that the Wildcats were playing tonight, not relying on him to score as much. And you don't have to score as much when you have a teammate that hits 7 threes by himself. You have another that hits 4 threes, and Yardley, and just the ball movement really helps, and then when you're shooting it that well, it makes it almost impossible to stop.
And then finally, Hudson Spell, the power forward, finishes with 11. He did a lot of his work down low, grabbing offensive board, getting putbacks, or just bullying his way into the paint.
And that's what Spell has done all season for the Wildcats. He just does all of the things that don't necessarily show up on the box score, but then he gets rewarded with that with those 11 points.
And with that, we'll take another quick break here on the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union post-game show. We'll bring it back and we'll wrap things up. So stay tuned here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play.
Imagine the sound of a basketball swishing through the net at the game buzzer. That's the sound of you scoring big with Eastern Utah Community Credit Union's Slam Dunk Savings Accounts. Just like a winning team will strategize their plays, we will help you plan your financial future with competitive interest rates and unbeatable customer support. Whether you're saving for college, a new home, or retirement, make a fast break to Eastern Utah Community Credit Union and let your savings game reach MPP status. Join our team today and start winning with your money.
Membership and eligibility required. NCUA insured. Loans approved on credit.
Remodeling as easy as 1, 2, 3. 123 Remodeling. From basements to ceilings, indoor to outdoor. Chris Nunez at 123 Remodeling is local, licensed, and insured. Framing, plumbing, electrical, drywalling, patios, garage doors. 123 Remodeling can build it, install it, and repair it. Chris is always communicating with his clients and is always transparent. Stay away from those out-of-town fly-by-night contractors. Keep it local with the all-new 123 Remodeling. Call 435-630-2215. 630-2215.
At A Perfect Smile, they specialize in transforming your smile with precision and care. From porcelain veneers and dental implants to orthodontics, crowns, and bridges. Their expertise covers every aspect of general and cosmetic dentistry. Dr. Jackson and his team are here to address even the most challenging dental concerns, helping you achieve a smile you'll love. Ready for a smile makeover? Call A Perfect Smile today, 637-2100, to schedule an appointment.
Hi, this is Tim Frayne, manager of Cache Valley Bank. Cache Valley Bank would like to wish everyone happy holidays and hope you have a safe and enjoyable Christmas season. We look forward to moving together towards a bright and prosperous new year. Cache Valley Bank is grateful to serve the communities and people of the Castle Valley. Stop by and see how we can help meet all your financial needs. Cache Valley Bank, located on the corner of First West and Main Street in Price.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Imagine this. You're cruising down the highway, windows down, music up, but suddenly your car sputters. Don't let car troubles break your stride. At Cars, Complete Auto Repair Service in Wellington, they're dedicated to keeping your vehicle running smoothly so you can keep enjoying those flawless drives. From regular maintenance like oil changes and wheel alignments to tune-ups and even new tires, Cars is here to help. Visit Cars today and drive away confident knowing your car is in its best shape ever.
Feel the force of the Ram heavy-duty truck, the power horse beast that thrills with its performance. Hi, this is Thad. Imagine saving up to $15,000 off the original MSRP. Auto Farm has 15 at the ready and waiting for a test drive, including 5 hard-to-find dualies, exceptional strength, unprecedented durability, and might that echoes in every gear shift. Demand the best from your heavy-duty jobs. Demand a Ram heavy-duty from Auto Farm. Because with Ram, it's just not driving. It's just not a lifestyle. Don't just imagine. Come in and test drive away today.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Basketball on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Welcome back to 95.3 The Peak. Again, the Carbon Dinos falling 75-53 to the Richfield Wildcats. Aiden Mortensen joined by Dallin Richards as we continue the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union post-game show. Now, Dallin, I think a good way to start is by looking at some scores from around the state. Earlier today, they've had the 2A, 3A girls preview that's been going on. Down there, North Summit defeats Enterprise 52-32. Union beats Millard 47-37. Kanab beats Duchesne 63-37. South Sevier lays it on Carbon 68-36. South Sevier, one of those top teams in the 2A classification for women's basketball. North Sevier defeats Juan Diego 47-39, and Richfield beats Beaver 38-33. And then looking at more of region slate for boys basketball, North St. Pete gives Delta another 1-point loss. They fall to 2-3 on the season when games are decided by 1 point, 46-45. And Emory defeats the Manti Templars 61-55. That's just a look at some scores from around the state. Now, Dallin, you saw what the Dinos had to offer tonight. You saw how injuries have really impacted this team. Moving on into the season, what would you like to see from Carbon?
Yeah, I think we've talked about it enough, but I don't know if you can, or we've talked about it a lot. I don't know if you can talk about it enough, but it's the consistency throughout the game, because you can go and you can watch the film from this one, and I'm sure Taylor Brower will do this with his team as they get ready for the moratorium. next week, but look, we hung with Richfield for a good portion of this game. We just need to get rid of those lulls that happened at the start of the first quarter and then in the second quarter as well, where you just go in those 3-4 minute spurts without scoring.
And like we said, that lull in the second quarter is what really made this game the score that we saw in the end. They were outscored 21-8 in that second quarter heading into the halftime break. It's hard to overcome that. It really is, and that's been a consistent theme throughout the season. But in their lone win against the Grand Red Devils, that's when we saw them put all of this together. They played 4 full quarters of basketball. They were rewarded with a 20-point win. Now, looking at the rest of the schedule for the Carbon Dinos, it doesn't get any easier. They'll have the short moratorium break coming up, and then after that, they're immediately heading down to Cedar City for tournament play.
Yeah, and it's a tough tournament down there, and you'll look at it, you'll see schools from all different classifications, but even the 1A schools like Panguitch that are in that tournament, they're going there to win, and they've done that in the past.
And speaking of Panguitch, that's one of the opponents the Dinos will see at this tournament on the 26th, day after Christmas. Santa Claus, fresh off his run around the globe, the Dinos will head down there and take on the Hurricane Tigers. That game's going to be at 4 p.m. The next day, they take on Panguitch. That's a team that we've seen here in our Castle Country Radio family of stations. They went into Emery County, and they downed the Spartans. They were down at one point, 13. Coach takes out the starters, chews them out a bit, puts them back into the game, and they come storming back. So Panguitch, one of those teams where, it's not just a good basketball program. It's a good athletic program. They excel in almost every sport there is.
Yeah, and that's what makes it hard, but that's also why you go and play in those tournaments like the Dinos are doing next week in Cedar City after Christmas, and it's really to help get your team ready for the gauntlet of the rest of Region 12 play.
And then they finish off that tournament against Parowan, and then they take a few days break, get a little more moratorium rest in, and then they're back on the road for region play. They'll travel down to Manti to take on the Templars. That game happened on the 3rd of January. It'll start at 7 p.m. right here on 95.3 The Peak. We'll start with the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show, and we'll jump right into tip-off at 7. Now, Dallin, I think it's about time we call it a night. Is there anything you'd like to leave for the Dinos fans listening right now?
Yeah, I think it can be hard to keep on with the team 1-8 now on the year, but you can see the growth that they're making from game to game, and if you keep with them, you'll see that growth expound even more as the younger guys get more experience at the varsity level, get more comfortable, and you'll see a lot of upsets, I believe, coming the Dinos' way as region play continues.
Yeah, especially if they are able to get healthy. Now, Dallin, thank you again for filling in on such short notice, coming down to Richfield from Cedar City. Again, that's Dallin Richards, very talented color analyst, play-by-play guy, really anything you need for your basketball games. And for Aiden Mortensen, I hope you enjoyed listening to this broadcast as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Again, we'll be back with the Dinos on the 3rd of January as they travel to Manti to take on the Templars tonight. Game, again, the final 75-53 in favor of the Richfield Wildcats over the Carbon Dinos. Thank you again for listening. We'll get you right back to today's top hits right here on